can understand not going out after dark, but not answering the phone after dark.
Oh, listen to him. He knows everything.
The dynamic between Tony and Livia Soprano is a masterclass in psychological warfare,
Listen to him. He knows everything.
demonstrating how a mother's narcissistic injury can become the catalyst for an assassination. The ultimate betrayal comes not from a rival crew or an FBI informant, but from a mother orchestrating the murder of her own son.
Better cake he had died than go on living like that. That's what his own mother always used to say.
Don't talk about Tony, it's done.
To understand the architecture of this hit, one must first analyze the specific nature of Livia's toxicity.
High and mighty, don't you? With your fancy office. People come here to die.
She operates from a baseline of profound nihilism and perpetual victimhood, frequently deploying her signature lament
I wish the Lord would take me now.
to shut down arguments and manipulate her children through guilt. The inciting incident for her lethal retaliation is Tony's decision to move her out of her home and into Green Grove.
Don't start with that nursing home business again.
Tony desperately frames this as a luxury retirement community, a panicked attempt to assuage his own guilt while ensuring her safety.
Not a nursing home. How many times do I gotta say this? It's a retirement community.
In her uncompromising worldview, this is an institutionalization, the forced stripping of her autonomy and her ultimate discard. In Livia's brutal calculus, a son who puts his mother away has forfeited his right to live. Because she is incapable of processing her emotions healthfully, her hurt immediately metastasizes into a desire for absolute vengeance. She finds her weapon in Tony's deepest secret, his therapy. Within this subculture, seeing a psychiatrist is an existential threat. When Livia reveals this to Tony's uncle, she drops the information with surgical precision.
I'm sure he's telling the psychiatrist it's all his mother's fault.
But Livia doesn't stop at highlighting the professional liability. She twists the knife by personalizing it to stoke Junior's familial outrage.
God only knows what he says. Tony, who had such a terrible mother.
A psychiatrist?
She is not merely gossiping. She acts the part of the scandalized mother, but her true intent is to hand Junior a loaded weapon. By feeding him this specific, highly taboo piece of information, she provides Junior with a mafia-sanctioned justification to eliminate Tony, framing him as a structural danger to the entire organization.
And Junior, I don't want there to be any repercussions.
The true brilliance of Livia's psychological manipulation lies in her mastery of plausible deniability. Throughout her interactions with Junior, she never once issues a direct order to have Tony killed.
He sold my house, the home my husband and I made.
She operates entirely through implication and strategic grievances. She casually mentions to Junior that Tony and the other capos are holding secret meetings right under his nose, playing the role of the confused, frail old woman.
I suppose he would have found it harder to have his meetings at my house.
What are you talking about, meetings?
By doing this, she strokes Junior's paranoia, confirming that Tony is treating him as a figurehead boss.
Johnny Sack was here? More than once he was here? Why didn't I know about this?
Well, maybe it was you they were talking about. Who knows?
She pushes Junior to the point of realizing he has to take lethal action against his own nephew.
If this is true, Livia, you know what I mean, if I don't act, blood or no...
Yet instantly shields herself from the reality of what she has orchestrated. She acts as the ultimate puppet master, steering Junior toward a catastrophic decision while ensuring that when the blood is spilled, she can retreat behind the mask of a naive, elderly widow.
What did I say now? I suppose I should have just kept my mouth shut, and then everybody would have been happy.
With the psychological groundwork laid by Livia's grievances, the narrative shifts from the emotional rot of the mother-son dynamic to the cold, bureaucratic reality of mob violence. Unspoken desires must be translated into actionable logistics, a process that exposes Junior's deep insecurities and the profound hypocrisy that props up the mafia's sacred codes. Junior has waited his entire life to wear the crown, yet he is acutely aware that his title as boss is hollow. Livia's insinuations provide him with the excuse to eliminate his rival, but the prospect of murdering his own nephew weighs heavily on him. This internal conflict manifests as abrasive arrogance when planning the hit with his fiercely loyal consigliere.
Well, the meeting's adjourned at the Green Grove. Chucky and I spoke to Donnie P, and the thing, it's happening tomorrow.
That quick. Good.
Mikey approaches the task with practical efficiency, trying to discuss the logistics of using outside contractors to insulate the administration. Junior, however, repeatedly ignores Mikey's practical concerns, cutting him off and dismissing the gritty reality of the planning.
I just wanted to let you know, that's all, so you didn't have to worry.
When I was a little kid, no older than that, I always used to wonder why nobody collected prayer cards.
By refusing to collaborate with his closest advisor, Junior actively overcompensates for his own powerlessness. He treats the logistics of his nephew's murder as an annoying administrative chore to create emotional distance from the act.
It's going down on a newsstand that he goes to by the medical center.
Where he spills his gut, fucking shrinks carpet.
He is a man desperately playing the role of a ruthless boss, terrified that the mask might slip. He is fully aware of the moral line he is crossing. However, his insecurity and desperate need to be respected as the unquestioned boss ultimately override his blood ties. He suppresses this guilt by projecting extreme arrogance for the remainder of the planning.
These guys are very, very good. Donnie Padawan at the time with him at Rahway, and I was very specific. He's not gonna suffer, he's gonna have an open casket.
Enough! I don't want to hear any more.
The initial assassination attempt is unknowingly thwarted by Christopher Moltisanti. This stroke of dumb luck forces the conspirators to abort and reschedule, drastically escalating the tension and pushing Junior closer to the panic that ultimately gets Donnie Padawan killed. The mid-level associate contracted to organize the hitmen. Donnie makes a fatal miscalculation, leaning in with a smirk to marvel at the absurdity of the plot.
Hey, Tony asked his own mother wants some pop.
Junior is entirely aware that Livia is the architect of this hit, yet in his twisted worldview, the concept of the revered Italian-American mother must remain pristine. Donnie's joke holds up a mirror to the grotesque, unnatural reality of what Junior and Livia are doing.
I don't like it. This fucking guy's big mouth.
No, he's okay.
I don't like it. Next he'll be making jokes about me.
By having Donnie killed, Junior violently enforces the very honor that he and Livia have completely abandoned, proving that the appearance of respect is defended with blood, even when the respect itself is a total lie. While waiting in line for a movie, Livia tells Junior a grim story about her cousin Keiki, who suffered a terrible decline. She notes casually that his own mother said it would be better if he died.
My cousin Keiki, after he had his lobotomy, he looked exactly like my son. Better Keiki had died than go on living like that. That's what his own mother always used to say.
This is Livia at her most lethal. She uses this macabre family parable to indirectly implant the idea of murder into Junior's head regarding Tony. She hands Junior the psychological justification to kill his nephew while maintaining total innocence as just an old woman telling family stories. When the meticulously planned assassination falls apart, the narrative abruptly shifts to the panicked realization that their target is still alive. Livia and Junior must quickly don their masks to survive, resulting in some of the most grotesque psychological theater in the series. The immediate realization of the failed hit takes place in a quiet, sterile room, illuminated by a television broadcast. Junior and Livia are watching the local news, which details the failed carjacking attempt and confirms Tony's miraculous survival. The illusion of Junior's control evaporates instantly.
How could this happen?
I don't know. I don't friggin' know. I feel like I'm floating in space.
Visibly shaken and paralyzed by the understanding that Tony will tear the world apart looking for the culprit, Junior turns to Livia in pure, desperate panic.
Livia, you understand what's going on here?
My son got shot and he got away.
What do we do now? What the fuck do we do now, Livia?
Livia's reaction is a terrifying display of sociopathic adaptability. She does not panic or mourn the failure of the plan. Instead, she instantly pivots to a tactical defense, delivering a chillingly simple command.
We go see him.
Tony?
Of course! He's my only son.
In a single sentence, Livia seamlessly transforms from a ruthless conspirator into a devoted mother. She recognizes that fleeing would invite suspicion. The safest place to hide from Tony's wrath is in plain sight. She weaponizes the sacred bond of motherhood, using the expectation that a mother would naturally rush to her injured son's side as a tactical shield to ensure her own survival. This survival strategy culminates in their visit to Tony's house. Tony is bruised and recovering from the trauma in his own living room. When Livia and Junior arrive, the scene becomes a masterclass in gaslighting.
Anthony!
Uncle June!
Don't get up. I heard your knee was fucked up.
I'm all right. Come on.
Your ear, it's disfigured.
Realizing that simply playing the concerned mother might not be enough, Livia introduces a new layer of defense, feigned cognitive decline. Sitting in the home of the man she just tried to murder, she starts dropping calculated hints that her mind is failing.
Look at that face.
Who is that? That girl.
Who, Meadow?
Who is she? Is that Conchetta?
That's your granddaughter.
All right, don't get impatient. I'm your mother.
By putting on this performance of dementia, Livia builds an unassailable alibi. She entirely erases her own agency and culpability through the performance of mental decay. Meanwhile, Junior is forced to play along. Standing in his nephew's house, Junior looks Tony in the eye and flat out lies to his face.
I got Mikey Palmiche, all my crew out there, cracking heads to find out who did this.
Livia and Junior exploit Tony's vulnerabilities flawlessly. They use his filial trust and traditional respect for his elders against him. Despite his ruthless instincts, Tony possesses a surprisingly deep well of denial when it comes to Livia. It takes the FBI to finally shatter that delusion.
As we both know, there's been an attempt on your life. You have enemies.
The lovely Agent Harris and I have had this conversation. I'll pass.
In a safe house, federal agents play the Green Grove wiretaps for him. The room fills with the ghostly, recorded voices of Junior and Livia.
Boy, Anthony must have really gotten under your collar. You're looking to crack his coglione for putting you in here.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and I'm playing shortstop for the Mets.
Tony sits in stunned silence as he hears his mother's cold, calculating voice dropping the ultimate taboo.
A psychiatrist. He's been seeing one for a while now. God only knows what he says.
You wired Green Grove.
The recording strips away the dementia defense Livia had been using at his house. The objective reality of the tape recorder cannot be gaslit. As Tony listens, his heavy breathing is the only sound in the room.
If this is true, Livia, you know what I... Blood or no... I have to.
Fueled by a cocktail of profound heartbreak and homicidal rage, Tony's final confrontation with Livia abandons all pretense of mafia strategy. Tony storms down the hospital corridor, grabbing a pillow from a nearby bed, a deeply symbolic choice of weapon, an object of comfort typically used by a mother to tuck her child in. He intends to use it to smother her.
Oh, Mr. Soprano, your wife found you good.
Found me? What are you talking about?
Your mom's had a stroke. The news on TV yesterday, it really upset her. Anyhow, it just happened.
He screams the undeniable truth right into her face.
I know what you did.
Sir, please. She can't answer you. Her speech center's been affected.
Yeah, my ass.
Call
You protect your
security.
Uncle June's in jail now. And I got one more little last detail I gotta take care of.
As security guards violently pull his massive frame backward, in a moment of hysterical clarity, he screams to the entire hallway.
She's smiling! Look at the look on her face! She's smiling! Come on! Off me! Look at her face! She got a fucking smile on her face!
This final, haunting image is Livia's absolute psychological victory. Whether the stroke is genuine or a perfectly timed physical retreat, Livia escapes Tony's wrath by hiding within the failing vessel of her body. The slight, almost imperceptible smirk Tony sees beneath her oxygen mask represents the ultimate triumph of her malice. She has pushed her son to the absolute edge of sanity, forced him to violate his deepest moral boundaries by attempting matricide, and slipped away just before he could enact his revenge. She leaves him permanently scarred, proving that the most dangerous enemy is not the one with a gun, but the one who gave you life.